The finalists in the balance beam competition. We've got some real specialists on this apparatus to come. This should be a final of real quality. We've got Commonwealth champions, we've got Olympians, national champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to your finalists representing Croatia, Christina Zwicker.
Christina Zwicker, 5th best in qualifying.
Representing Australia, McDonald.
Commonwealth Games champion Kate McDonald from Australia, 3rd best in qualification. Sabrina Maneca-Voinea of Romania, 2nd best in qualifying. Hungary's Greta Mayer, the top performer in qualification. Vita Prijanovic of Slovenia, the 8th best in qualifying. Canada's Audrey Rousseau, 7th best in qualifying. Poor old Tina Zelcic has been forgotten. Diana Lobok of Ukraine, 4th best in qualifying. There we go. You can't forget Tina Zelcic, 6th best in qualifying. She is one of the most well-known balance beam specialists in World Cup competition. It's amazing, actually. That's the 2nd time that's happened to Audrey Rousseau in this event, because yesterday she was introduced one too early at the expense of June McDonald on the uneven bars. So, old Audrey Rousseau must be thinking, why is it always happening to me? The finalists in the women's balance beam competition, and the top performer in the preliminary round will be the 4th gymnast to go, Greta Mayer of Hungary. She won the title at the Hungarian Apparatus Championships in September. We also have here Sabrina Maneca-Voinea. She was the 2nd best in qualifying, but with the same score as Mayer. Real difference, though, in their difficulty execution split. 6/10 up on difficulty, 6/10 lower on execution, the Romanian. She was the runner-up at the European Championships in Rimini last year. There's the gymnast who won the Commonwealth Games title in Birmingham in 2022, Kate McDonald. She's having an excellent World Cup. Gold medalist on the uneven bars with one of the most beautiful Kachevs you will ever have seen. And I'm not hyperbolizing when I say that. Go and watch it. It was sensational. She nearly hit her head on the roof of the building. We have in this final the 1st, 2nd and 3rd in qualification, all in the opening 4. So we'll have a very interesting picture at the halfway stage. And we've got the 2 Croatian beam specialists in this final, Zwicker and Zelcic. I mentioned yesterday that Greta Mayer is somebody that we really associate with World Cup vault finals, but that she is an excellent all-around gymnast and a very fine performer on beam, and this is the reminder of that in case we needed it. We start with a gymnast who is just beautiful to watch on beam. She's a very skilled performer on this apparatus. Elegant, poised, controlled. It's very much her piece. She is somebody who's always prioritised the delivery of her performance rather than the difficulty of it. 22-year-old from Zagreb, Christina Zwicker, who has been a World Cup champion on beam. Smooth switch leap mount to start. Just a little adjustment coming out of the free walkover. But the pike, very good. No realignment needed. Smooth. Perhaps just lacking the elevation on a couple of the jumps, but with little to speak of in terms of restabilization. Just fluid throughout. Important moment here. Does have some oscillation on the horizontal axis. And concludes her routine with a dismount from the Gainer family. It is one of life's pleasures watching Christina Zwicker on beam because you feel very relaxed when she's performing. There are some gymnasts who make a balance beam look like it's about 5 times the width that it actually is, and generally speaking that's what you get from Zwicker. It means that she gives off an air of real confidence, and one tends to feel that when she performs. You feel it yourself as you watch. She's often had the highest or among the highest execution scores in World Cup or World Challenge Cup beam finals. It's a little lack of symmetry of the body in the tuck position. One knee much higher than t'other. A bit of Bellini being played, I think. Samba de Janeiro, if I'm not mistaken. It was one of the France 1998 anthems. 12.266. Execution is down a little from qualification. Difficulty remains the same, so a drop of about 1/4 of a mark. The reigning Commonwealth Games balance beam champion, Kate McDonald, the Australian who won the uneven bars title yesterday. She's having a very fine competition. Switch leap mount to begin. Third best in qualifying, 12.833. Good walkover. Powerful attack off the jump, really hitting the position. Regrettably, off the apparatus to concession of a full mark. Oh, it's unfortunate. Just comes to ground on the dismount again. Just as we saw on the bars yesterday, enormous amplitude from McDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've witnessed the performance being given by the 24
Not quite on this occasion. You do have to admire so much the way she attacks her skills, the conviction with which she performs. Great athlete. As I mentioned yesterday, she's an extremely good surfer as well. And you do have to think about actually the possible transfer of skills, the ability to keep one's balance, use the whole body to master a surfboard. We've had gymnasts in the past, like Barbara Markosheva, who have been very skilled snowboarders and have performed very well on beam. There's an example of what I would call that real attack of her skills. Kate McDonald, a score of 10.933. Nonetheless, really fine weekend for her, taking her first World Cup gold. Hugely popular gymnast from Romania, Olympian Sabrina Maneca-Voinea. 17-year-old was the second best in qualification, and she was the runner-up on beam at the European Championships last year. It was in this place that she, oh goodness me, that was just fantastic. I had to interrupt myself. Oh, what a shame. Right after the extremely complicated acrobatic series. She nonetheless has the sort of difficulty that could see her contend for honours even if she comes off the apparatus once. Now it becomes a little trickier. But as I was going to say, this is the setting for where she won 2 World Cup gold medals in her senior international debut. That was a couple of years ago. Beam and floor champion in Doha. I mean, the difficulty in that routine is fabulous, and most of it was executed wonderfully. The skill selection is complicated, very complicated. A 5.8 difficulty score in qualification was 4/10 stronger than the second highest difficulty score, and verging on a mark higher than everybody but Deanna Lobok, who was at a 5.4.
She is Sabrina Maneca-Voinea.
Tremendous twisting work to get around and fully aligned. And then it's really close. She almost stays on there. Look at the physical energy put into getting up to tuck around twice at the conclusion. Incredible young athlete. She only recently returned to international competition after the Olympiads at the lovely city of Jesolo Trophy, outside of the World Cup calendar. 11.6, so that is a drop of about a mark and a half from the preliminary stage for the Romanian. It means that Christina Zwicker has stayed in the lead. Here's the top qualifier, Greta Mayer of Hungary. The same as Sabrina Maneca-Voinea in qualification, 13.133, but with higher execution. Indeed, the highest execution of anyone in qualifying, for reasons like that. That's good stability in the wolf turns. Oh, what smoothness to hold on to that. Brilliant instinctive adjustment. Minimising the deductions. Well, she's making an excellent case to go into the gold medal position here. Side aerial, well performed. And then the side somersault. Again, stable. Oh, what a gorgeous double pike to conclude. That will change the leaderboard with no doubt. Brilliant display from Greta Mayer, the reigning beam apparatus champion. And the reason I specify the apparatus champion is they also have apparatus titles at the Masters Championships a little later on in the year in Hungary. But at the apparatus championship, she won the beam and floor title and indeed vault. And she won bronze at the Masters Championships on beam a month later. The trajectory of that was so good. And then the double pike conclusion. Pretty well spot on. That's an entirely justified reaction, frankly. It was a very good display. Her work done, and done extremely well. Greta Mayer of Hungary. It was back in 2020 that she won silver on beam at the Junior European Championships. She's yet to win a gold medal on beam in a World Cup or World Challenge Cup, and indeed she's yet to win a World Cup gold medal. But that is going to be really hard to beat. 13.133. She's gained a 10th of difficulty, lost a 10th of execution. She's well and truly in the lead. Her only gold medal was at home in Sombaté in 2023 on vault. That's World Challenge Cup level. This would be a big title for her if she holds on. And Christina Zwicker is in the silver medal position at the halfway stage as the 5th best qualifier. I think I might have said that Zwicker got the same difficulty as she did in qualification, but she was, I believe, just 1/10 down, 4.7 compared to a 4.8 in the preliminary round. Now we have to come in the second half of this final. Only one gymnast who is in the top 4 qualifiers, but we've got to watch her carefully. Diana Lobok of Ukraine, who has a 5.4 difficulty, which is 1/10 higher than we've just seen from Greta Mayer.
Vita Prijanovic.
Really well done to this young athlete from Slovenia, Vita Prijanovic. She has made 2 finals this weekend. She was the 8th best in qualification for the beam competition. Good, smooth switch leap mount to start. This is a piece on which she really does excel. Sadly, the hands going down on the apparatus and curtailing the wolf turns. Nice performance, this. Some expressivity, some poise. Stabilises the side Somi. She stabilised everything since that issue with the wolf turns. Wasn't that nice to watch? It's always a real pleasure when you get to see a new gymnast in televised finals. And Vita Prijanovic has been memorable this weekend. But that's the one that we really were excited to see because it's a favoured apparatus for her. She has competed at the Junior Balkan Championships. That was a good assured start. Must feel really nice as a gymnast when you hit your mount in a big World Cup final. This is where, unfortunately, she needs to grasp the beam for stability to avoid coming off and sacrificing a full mark for an unintentional dismount. Twisting with assurance to conclude as well. She's overcome real physical difficulties with juvenile idiopathic arthritis as well, Vita Prijanovic. 11.566, the execution and difficulty both dropping, but really a lot to enjoy about her work. She's done well this weekend. Now another of the stylish Croatian gymnasts on beam. This is Tina Zelcic. She too is somebody who Prioritises the clarity of her performances over excess difficulty. And again, we see why. Minimal adjustment, well managed. Delightful. Nice free walkover or front aerial. Side aerial again had good form. That was very good, wasn't it, from Tina Zelcic of Croatia. Very experienced. Still very young though, only 22, the athlete from Zagreb. She has won 4 World Cup medals on beam. Almost necessary to repeat what I said about Christina Zwicker, that sense of confidence you feel when you watch Tina Zelcic, of somebody who really has an assured relationship with this apparatus, who knows where the beam is at all times, who's fully confident in her ability to get through a routine smoothly. A lot of poise. There's absolutely going to be one or more Croatians in contention going into the conclusion of this competition. Very good, 12.766. Tina Zelcic goes ahead of her teammate Christina Zwicker. So we have Mayer, Zelcic and Zwicker 1, 2 and 3. 2 to go. Here is a champion at World Challenge Cup level on the beam, Audrey Rousseau, massively experienced Canadian. First two in this final mount from the side of the apparatus, using the candle mount. She won bronze on the uneven bars yesterday for her first World Cup medal since that triumph in Turkey in Mersin in 2019. This unquestionably has started as a performance that will challenge the podium. And just about continues thus. Stayed on so well there. Little adjustment coming out of the free walkover. Audrey Rousseau of Canada. She did pick up her 10th penalty in qualification. We certainly heard there that she was running close to time. Now, nonetheless, that should be in and around contention with 1 to go. We look back at how she began this with the candle mount. Just slid the feet round there to make sure that she was aligned. Had a few little moments like that that were well controlled, that just shows the competition experience she has. One of the most experienced in the field of any of the women's events at this World Cup. And one of the most fiercely determined as well. From the great centre for gymnastics that is Quebec. First competed at the World Championships in 2015. It's a great centre for lots of things, including figure skating as well. 12.266. She just about misses out, and that 1/10 again for penalties going over time is the key determining factor. We have 1 to go, and as things stand, it is Zwicker who will receive bronze, Zelcic who will receive silver, and Mayer who will receive gold. But Diana Lobok scored 12.566 in qualification and has the difficulty to challenge for the podium. Unfortunate there, just losing position. Sadly now 2 full marks gone from the score. She has been a World Cup medalist on beam. That was at the World Challenge Cup in Varna, Bulgaria last year. There's a lot that's very good about this display. Only 16. She's yet to compete at World Championship level as a senior. She has competed at the European Championships as a senior. Oh, lovely stability in the wolf turns. That was beautiful. And a very powerful dismount from Diana Lobok of Ukraine. Regrettable that she had those 2 unintentional dismounts from the beam. She'll know that that means that the title is hers, but she will, as is sporting, decline to celebrate until the result is in. Diana Lobok is the reigning all-around beam and floor champion of Ukraine. That's just one of those things that happens from time to time to any gymnast on the beam, let alone a very young one. Wonderful wolf turns, great technique, working nicely in releve. little piked as she comes out of the tuck position. Huge potential, that's clear. .166 for Diana Lobok, and that brings to a close what was a really entertaining beam final. Congratulations to Greta Mayer of Hungary. She's won that by a good margin of close to 4/10. And the two Croatian beam specialists making it onto the podium. The classified results in the women's balance beam final. Christina Zwicker of Croatia taking the bronze medal, her first appearance on a World Cup podium in 4.5 years. Tina Zelcic, her teammate, winning the silver medal, her second World Cup silver. And Greta Mayer wins her first World Cup title on beam. And it was a wonderful performance. Here they are, the finalists in the women's floor competition. We're going to see some gymnasts that we've seen a lot over the course of this weekend, and some that we'll be seeing for the first time. And indeed the first time in a senior international final as an individual. Good luck to all of them. So many of the young fans are here for this exact moment to see the women's floor final. It's always one of the showpiece occasions in any gymnastics competition. Lots of Romanian fans. And they'll be watching the runner-up at the last European Championships on this apparatus. Let's have a look at the contenders. McDonald of Australia, second best in qualifying, looking for a second medal of this weekend. Sabrina Maneca-Voinea of Romania, the top qualifier, no surprise there, and she had a lot of margin over the rest of the pack. Amber Ward of Hong Kong, China, 8th best in qualification. Medina Kapassova of Kazakhstan, the 7th best in qualifying. Odinakhon Robidjonova of Uzbekistan, 6th best in qualifying. First ever senior international final as an individual. Well done to her. Sara Peter of Hungary, 5th best in qualifying. Audrey Rousseau of Canada, already a medalist this weekend and the 3rd best in qualification. And the Hungarian Greta Mayer, who's had a really impressive weekend, looking for her 3rd medal. Well, in this particular final, we're going to see the top 2 qualifiers right at the start. McDonald, the 2nd best first, and then Maneca-Voinea, the top 2nd. McDonald scored 13.066, Maneca-Voinea 13.7. And that's where the difficulty is so significant. The finalists in the women's floor competition, Sabrina Maneca-Voinea of Romania was the top in the preliminary round with a difficulty score of 5.7 and an overall score of 13.7. That about 2/3 of a mark better than anyone else. The second best, Kate McDonald, and she'll open this final. We'll have a very good sense of how this final is likely to pan out after the first two have performed, especially after we've seen Maneca-Voinea, because difficulty-wise, it's going to be very hard for anyone to compete with her if she delivers a clean routine. Greta Mayer was the only other gymnast in qualification, she's the last to go, who produced a 5+ difficulty score. That was 5.3, 4/10 below the Romanian Maneca-Voinea. Last moments of visualization and of muscle memory for Kate McDonald of Australia. She was the second best in qualifying, 13.066. It was a really good display in the preliminary round. It had the best execution of any of the qualifying finalists. It's a really memorable performance, that, from Kate McDonald. Choreographically, it's great. Everything that she does in between the tumbling passes fits beautifully with the orchestration. And there is some very fine tumbling going on there too. It's not just an example of high-quality tumbling, it's got artistry. Up with purpose into the tuck position, rotating the body forwards and judging the landing so nicely. Only a minimal adjustment. Well-established releve position. And then powerful twisting at the end. She does take a bit of an adjustment, but how quickly she almost makes that seem choreographic, gets back on with the performance. The gymnast who realized a childhood dream of becoming an Olympian in Paris. Excited Canadian fans with Audrey Rousseau still to come. McDonald, 12.666, 4/10 down from qualification, all of that execution. Now the top performer in qualifying, teenager Sabrina Maneca-Voinea from Romania, the European Championship silver medalist last year. 13.7 in the preliminary round, with 5.7 for difficulty, much higher than any other gymnast. Goodness me, there is some tumbling going on in that routine. Crikey. Sabrina Maneca-Voinea of Romania with enormous difficulty and with her fans loving every moment of it. And she looked pretty thrilled about it herself too. The complexity of the tumbling passes is fantastic. Well, let us have another look at this display from the gymnast who was in the floor final at the Olympic Games and at the last World Championships, as well as being twice on a European podium in this apparatus. Look at this, the double layout and then back into the direction. Goes some layout into the tuck position. Total change of momentum. Worked superbly. Sabrina Maneca-Voinea, 13.6. Only 1/10 down in execution from qualification. All else remains the same. That is going to be extremely difficult to beat. To Amber Wensi-Ward of Hong Kong, the 8th best in qualifying with 11.866. She's been an Asian junior champion on vault, the first ever athlete from Hong Kong to win an Asian Junior Championship title. Brilliant accomplishment. Wasn't that lovely? Some really good gymnastics from Amber Ward of Hong Kong. She trains in Victoria in Australia at MLC Gymnastics. Has actually been a junior national championship medalist in Australia, but opted to represent Hong Kong, China in 2023. She's very focused on the next Olympiad. A very poised gymnast to watch. What a nice layout position. Rotating the body around twice. Very promising, this. Reason to be excited if you are a fan of the Hong Kong team. Amazing accomplishment to win that vault title at the Asian Junior Championships in Singapore a couple of years ago. Such a milestone moment for gymnastics in Hong Kong, China. She had the lowest difficulty score of any of the qualifiers. But she's one of the younger ones in the field. .833, virtually the same as qualification, very consistent. She's lost a small amount of difficulty and gained most of it back in execution. Medina Kapassova of Kazakhstan, the 7th best in qualification. She's made her senior international debut at this event. overlapping orchestration, but a very different take from Kate McDonald. Nice to watch from Medina Kapassova of Kazakhstan. Did have a couple of passes that involved a step out, but she's only 15, this young athlete who competed at the Asian Junior Championships in Singapore a couple of years ago. And she's trying to put in some quite high-octane tumbling. Really good effort to get the legs up to the horizontal position as stipulated by the code of points. Coming out of the twist position, one foot goes out. Gets good elevation as she tucks backwards a couple of times. And again, it's the twist position that leads to going out of bounds. This time, the foot going forwards. So there will be some penalty tenths to be accrued there by Medina Kapassova, but lots of really positive work from her in this debut World Cup competition. 11.966. She's actually improved her difficulty by 1/10, 2 penalty tenths. Otherwise, execution much the same. So overall, a drop of a single tenth. But good to see the difficulty push up. Odinakhon Robidjonova of Uzbekistan from the capital city of Tashkent. Her first ever senior international final as an individual. She was part of the team that won bronze at the Asian Championships last year. Really good to watch, isn't she? Some choreography that fitted very nicely with the choice of orchestration. Some tumbling that was performed with clarity. 6th best in qualification with a score of 12.166. Lovely to see her in a World Cup final for the first time. Nice reaction there from her fellow gymnasts and the coaching staff of other delegations. Does a lot of nice work with her hands. It gives the choreography a very deliberate feel, a very purposeful feel. Clearly is comfortable in the dance elements. Had to work quite hard to keep stability in the wolf turns, maintain the toe point, but she did it. Loses perhaps a little of the ideal twisting clarity, but again, she's well aligned as she comes back down to ground. This the double tuck, that was bang on, wasn't it? Great releve, she's right up on the front part of the foot. Again, that's more evidence of the dancing ability. Good back bend as she jumps. Very well done to her, 12.266. She's actually into the bronze medal position with only 3 gymnasts to go. Excellent. To the Hungarian Sara Peter, 5th best in qualifying with a score of 12.333. The 22-year-old from Budapest, Sara Peter, the gymnast who won the floor title at the Hungarian Masters Championships back in October. Looking for what would be just a second appearance on a World Cup podium and a first in this apparatus. Lots of well-performed tumbling work there. Difficulty, certainly competitive in this field. She had 0.1 of penalty marks in qualification. Let's look back at this from Sara Peter. Double pike with a small backwards move. But lots that was well performed. A little wobbliness on the wolf turns, but again, not much. That the more sizable adjustment, as there was a slightly jarred landing out of the twists. She scored 12.333 in qualification. And she's well up here, 12.833. So into the silver medal position with 2 gymnasts to go. She might well be in luck here. Audrey Rousseau of Canada, 3rd in qualification with a score of 12.9. It's really rare on floor that you can actually visualize a dance partner. And one of the most lovely things about that display from Audrey Rousseau is that you can almost see the movement of the other person that isn't there. It actually looks like a pair's collaborative dance. And that's very skillful. And some of it is the choreography, but a lot of it is actually what she does facially, what she does with her eyes. It's a very compelling performance from an artistic standpoint. Oh, and by the way, the tumbling's cracking as well. Just important to mention that there is some excellent acrobatic work, but one must dwell upon the sense of projection that you get from Rousseau, that performative quality. That really was delightful. Big double tuck, and what was so impressive there was how quickly she snapped out of that low landing, that pike landing. This is nice, coming out into the stag jump and boom, back into the choreography to give the whole thing a cohesive feel. Quite a tumbler too. But I stand by my initial comment about it being possible almost to visualize the dance partner and to see that as a collaborative routine. That's rare and really nice. There we go, 12.833. She has gone into the silver medal position. She doesn't have the difficulty of Maneca-Voinea, but it was really artistic and really stylish. Greta Mayer of Hungary, last to go. She was the 4th best in qualifying with a score of 12.533. Something is different about Greta Mayer this season. Something's changed in her over the last year or so. I'm not sure whether it's confidence, whether it's experience, whether it's poise, whether it's a mixture of all of the above. She looks like a gymnast who is really getting stronger and stronger, and that is so exciting. She's still half a year away from her 19th birthday, but one gets the sense of somebody who's going to play a bigger role in the Hungarian team as time goes on. Yes, she was well out on one of the tumbling passes, just got the trajectory off. She was too close to the edge of the floor as she took off, but there's maybe an intangible sense of belief in Greta Mayer now. Really hits the horizontal there nicely. It's a very assured double layout, that spot on landing. Excellent tumbling. And then putting in some twisting work in the tuck position, landing it well once more. And then a double pike with little adjustment required. It's been such a pleasure to watch her over the course of this weekend. Bronze on the vault. Gold secured on the beam. What about on floor? Yes, absolutely. We saw you on the big screen. Nothing wrong with having fun while you do your job. Oh, hello. They've certainly had a lot of fun. They're going to have a bit more fun when the classified results are announced. Yeah, that's how admired she is. Other gymnasts wanting to get a photograph with her. And Medina Kapassova should be drinking in all of this, should be celebrating it, because she's made a senior international debut here, performing alongside gymnasts that she absolutely idolises. So, yes, get a picture with them. Remember this moment for a lifetime, because she's an elite level gymnast. Second, first and foremost, she's a fan of gymnastics. That's how it all starts, isn't it? And one hopes that wherever her elite career takes her, she'll never stop being first and foremost a fan of gymnastics. It's been a very nice occasion for the crowd to enjoy at the Aspire Dome in Doha, and I hope you've enjoyed it too, wherever you happen to be watching from this weekend. I hope you've had a really enjoyable start to your Saturday, or maybe even conclusion to it, depending on the time zone. And just to let you know that there is more World Cup gymnastics action even to come this weekend. tomorrow we'll see the Rhythmic Gymnastics World Cup in Baku take place. Qualification has been concluded there, so just the finals. And there'll be 4 individual apparatus finals and 2 group apparatus finals tomorrow. Time being taken for the final calculations for this performance from Greta Mayer of Hungary. It's 12.166, 3 penalty tenths, the key differential there for Greta Mayer. Otherwise, really strong. She's had a good weekend. There's your champion once again, winning floor in Doha, 2 years on from her senior international debut. Very interesting floor final to watch that. Some memorable routines, some excellent tumbling, some lovely dance work. The classified results in the women's floor competition. Congratulations to Sara Peter of Hungary. For the 2nd time in her career, she's on a World Cup podium. Audrey Rousseau of Canada winning the silver medal. She came here having only won 1 World Cup medal in her career. That was the balance beam title in Mersin in 2019. Now she's been on the podium twice this weekend after bronze on the uneven bars. And Sabrina Maneca-Voinea of Romania winning the title with 13.6. The 2nd time she's been the floor champion in Doha. The victory ceremony for the women's balance beam competition at the Aspire Dome in Doha. Congratulations to Christina Zwicker of Croatia, back on a World Cup podium. Almost 5 years ago, she was the gold medalist at the World Cup in Hungary. Now she returns, this specialist on the beam, showing us all why. A very fine time to be a Croatian balance beam specialist this weekend. Tina Zelcic also on the podium. Another 22-year-old from Zagreb. A 5th World Cup medal. A second place finish. Splendid weekend this for Greta Mayer of Hungary. The winner of the bronze medal in the vaulting competition, and now she is the champion on beam. She finished 3rd at the Azerbaijan World Cup, but she's just won the first World Cup gold medal of her career, having been a World Challenge Cup champion in 2023.
We would like to request the officials to please join their medalists for a photo opportunity.
And there they are, the medalists in the women's balance beam competition at the Doha World Cup.
Thank you so much, and let's give them a round of applause.
The victory ceremony for the women's floor competition at the Doha World Cup.
Third place and the winner of the bronze medal, Sara Peter from Hungary.
Winning the bronze medal, Sara Peter of Hungary. Just the second time that she's been on a World Cup podium. And it's been a long wait for her since 2019 to reappear. She's earned this one, really earned it with hard work and with an excellent performance on the day. The same score as the silver medalist, but separated by execution.
Winner of the silver medal, Audrey Rousseau from Canada.
Canada's Audrey Rousseau, another gymnast who most recently appeared on a World Cup podium in 2019 before this weekend. She leaves with a bronze medal from yesterday and a silver medal today. A fabulous performance, so artistic, so memorable, and so richly deserved. That second place finish.
Sabrina Maneca-Voinea of Romania.
But there is no denying the fantastic quality of tumbling of the champion, Sabrina Maneca-Voinea of Romania. She wins in Doha once again, as she did on her senior international debut in 2023. And they are thrilled, her many fans.
Of the national anthem of Romania. We would like to request our officials to please join our medalists for a souvenir photo.
The medalists in the women's floor competition at the Doha World Cup.